Hey, hi, and hello, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for another installment of the weekly track Roundup, where I give my thoughts on a bunch of tracks that have dropped over the past week or so. Whether I love them or hate them or felt somewhere in between, they're all linked down below, so you can check them out for yourself and form your own opinion of them. Also linked down below, per usual, is our Turntable Lab link. We get kickback from it if you use it to buy a turntable, some vinyl, some whatever. Also, our Patreon page, where you can get some extra bonus monthly content while supporting us in the process. Our YouTube Shorts page, subscribe today to get that sweet, juicy, amazing short form content. And also, shout out to our sponsor for this video, the good people over at Primavera Sound, the Barcelona music festival that happens every year. Specifically this year, I'm shouting out the festival because, well, they have a mighty good lineup, don't they? It's been a while since I've been to Primavera, but this year I'm especially pumped. We got Vampire Weekend, we got Justice, we got Deftones, we got Beth Gibbons, Kim Petras, also Lana Del Rey, The National, Disclosure, Troye Sivan, J. Paul, Omar Apollo. Clips is coming through as well. The Clips, Original Boys, the Brothers, the Boys. Also SZA, PJ Harvey, Mitski, FKA Twigs, Charli XCX. You cannot sneeze at this lineup. They put together a killer lineup, a killer festival every year. And again, especially excited for this one. A link to their website and tickets down below, so you can hit up the fest too if this lineup is at all tempting to you, which it very much should be. It very much should be. All right, let's move on to the worst tracks of the week. We have a handful, actually more than usual, of those. Starting with this new one from Quavo and Destroy Lonely, Potato Loaded. Quavo tries to do his best Future impression, while Destroy Lonely with the weird oral sex bars is completely unlistenable. It's trash. All right, moving on from there, we have a new one from Khalid, who has basically a Drake song on his hands, but gives it a title that is so corny, even Drake wouldn't dare to title a song, Please Don't Fall in Love With Me. No, thank you. Moving on from there, double, extra, triple, quadruple, deca ton, no thank you. The new David Guetta and One Republic, I Don't Want to Wait, which is essentially an EDM remix of the Numa Numa song. We do not need this. Thank you. All right, moving on from there. A new one from Glass Animals, Creatures in Heaven is the title of this track, and it's quite an annoying piece of pop music with over enunciated lyrics that just kind of sound overly pretentious, in my opinion. Moving on from there, new one from G-Eazy that we absolutely did not need, where he has surprisingly Coi Leray and Cali in the mix, but he's essentially doing his best to sound like Macklemore attempting to be sexy on this track, Femme Fatale. Again, gross. Don't need it. Moving on from there, Imagine Dragons, Eyes Closed. Now look, obviously the chances of a new Imagine Dragons song landing in the worst section of any given weekly track roundup is high. But I can commend the band on delivering what is easily one of the goofiest and silliest and craziest songs I've heard them release in a while. It does not sound like your average Imagine Dragons song. There's almost like Fred Durstian rap verses on this track that are quite out there and just not expected. Just not expected from Imagine Dragons. Moving on from there, J. Cole, 7-Minute Drill, the non-shot heard round the world, his attempt at a diss and a response to Kendrick Lamar. It went horribly. Did a review of it over on the Fantano channel. Weak bars, no validity, terrible instrumental choice, and just kind of sounds like he didn't want to do it. All right, and finally, new one from Cage the Elephant, which just sounds like some very, excuse me, bad rap rock. Good Time is the name of the track. They've just been missing with all the singles, unfortunately. Really missing with all the singles. All right. The tracks I was met on, you might be crazier about them than I was. Certainly they're fine. They're fine. They have an appeal, just not crazy about them myself. Again, you might dig them. They are as follows. New one from ZelooperZ with Zack Fox. Expected a lot more out of this one given the meeting of the minds happening on this track, but the instrumental is kind of noisy and basic, and the delivery on the flow side is a little half-hearted. Kind of expected this to go a little crazier, a little zanier. Woe is the title of the track. A new one from NxWorries, NxWledge and Anderson .Paak teaming up again for a new forthcoming album. The duo, the collab, the crossover fans have been waiting for years. Now, this track over here, 86 Centra, it is a vibe, but it is painfully short. I'm just kind of hoping that there's more to come like this that all kind of weaves together into a larger track list when this album eventually drops. All right, moving on from there, the Marías have a new one out, their second single to this forthcoming album. Lejos de Ti is the name of this new track, and it's just a very kind of sweet, catchy piece of dream pop. Maybe a little too light on the ears for me, but it is certainly pretty, and it's got some standout melodies here and there. All right, next, Lil Nas X, Light Again, is the name of this new track and single from him. And yeah, it's a bit of a slick piece of pop rap, not the most memorable song I think he's come through. It kind of seems like he's consciously trying to make a shift away from just straight up rock and pop music to something just a bit more hip hop oriented. And I think the results so far have been mixed, but I think it's certainly, worth pursuing for sure, just in order to kind of change things up and keep things fresh for whatever new album cycle we're going to get coming down the pipe. All right, moving on from there, the duo Mamaleek has a new album on the way. Vileness Slim is the name of the first single from it. And, I got to listen to this one more. It's long. It's very weird. It's experimental. The vocal performance is wild, and it's just not the kind of vocal style I typically hear over this kind of instrumental. There is a very intriguing progression to all of it, though. Look, I'll say this. I feel a little on the fence about it now, but this is very much a track that could potentially grow on me because it is that freaking out there. I'll say that. New record from these guys coming out very soon this year. Keep an eye and an ear out. All right, next, new metal legends Kittie have a new record out. We Are Shadows is the name of it. It's heavy. It's hard hitting. It's got some kind of clean leads on the chorus, some killer screams on the verses. Nothing too groundbreaking as far as this style goes, but it's cool to hear the band back and doing their thing once again. Next, we have Kiss of Life, K-pop outfit Kiss of Life, new project on the way. First single, Midas Touch, is the name of it, and it's giving Britney bitch. It's just very kind of like early 2000s diva pop, specifically Britney Spears-esque. It's well produced, but maybe a bit too derivative, honestly. All right, moving on from there. Iron and Wine hitting us with the third single for this forthcoming album. Anyone's Game is the title of it, and it's maybe the most feel-good and forgettable track of the bunch. The previous two singles, in my opinion, especially that Fiona Apple one, went quite a bit harder emotionally and instrumentally. All right, we also have another single from Machinedrum, another track with a feature on it. I Like You is the title. Duckwrth is the dude on it. I love the instrumental, and I like the sentiment of the track quite a bit. I just feel like some of the lyrics are maybe just a bit too incessant, redundant, repetitive to a fault, though I know it is like really trying to kind of get a point across. I can give it that. Best tracks of the week. Let's move on to those. We have quite a few. Let us begin. No hesitation. Bam. Getting into this new Snow Strippers track. The project, the experimental, underground, lo-fi, kind of trashy blog house era dance revivalists are back with a new track that is titled So What If I'm a Freak. Really loving the vibes on this one, the weird gun racking samples, the dance beats. It is, again, a vibe all around. It's messy, it's chaotic, it is deeply enjoyable and weird. Also digging on this new one from Chappell Roan. This track is kind of a switch stylistically and instrumentally, though she is kind of a chameleon of sorts, I would say, as far as like, her sound goes. Good Luck Babe is the title of the track. And I would say this song kind of sounds like if you had The Last Dinner Party doing a Wham cover, but the vocals are incredible and the songwriting is on point, so I can't really hate on it for sure. All right, also loving this very kind of hokey, conceptual, narrative, tongue-in-cheek, and novelty little country ballad, which is also an interpolation of "Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys" from Orville, Peck, and Willie Nelson. Cowboys are frequently, secretly fond of each other, and yes, it's about what you think it's about. All right, moving on from there, we have a new track from Critic, the post-punk and noise rock outfit. In the Wawa, "Convinced I Am God" is the name of one of many singles that have been teasing toward this new forthcoming album from them. If you're looking for something chaotic, fun, and in your face, and has a bit of an irreverent, wild side, give this one a spin for sure, for sure. Also, Knocked Loose, second single from the forthcoming album. Oh my God, Don't Reach For Me is the title of this new track, and this has got to be one of the heaviest, most devastating things I've heard all year. Also, the vocals and lyrics are really bitter to the point where they're kind of funny. Like, I have to wonder who the hell this song had in mind when it was being written. But really, the selling point of the track is just how goddamn crazy and oppressive and just face melting the guitar tones and riffs are on this track. They've really kind of reached new levels of saturation and heaviness as far as loud rock goes, and I am fucking impressed. All right, moving on from there, Kamasi Washington gives us another taste of his forthcoming album. This track actually features André 3000, and it's a 9-minute monster, but it breezes by because it is a great, groovy, entrancing piece of jazz fusion that is super tasteful, and is going to be one of many tracks I'm excited to spin again and again and again when this new record eventually comes out. Dream State is the title of the track, but believe me, it is not as dreamy as the title insinuates. All right, we also have a third single for the forthcoming album, Pull the Rope, from Ibibio Sound Machine. Mama Say is the title of this track, and if you're looking for some West African Afrobeat and funk combined with synth funk and forward-thinking futuristic electronics and also killer lead vocals, you are not going to want to miss Ibibio Sound Machine. I mean, obviously, this outfit has been doing their thing for years, but they continue to be underrated, underappreciated, and would love it if you guys checked out this single for sure, for sure. All right, moving on from there, English Teacher, another single from their forthcoming album, Post-Punk Outfit, a track titled R&B with some very cheeky and funny lyrics about love and expressing love through writing and creating music, specifically R&B, but also not really having the technical or artistic capability of creating that. It's a very kind of a self-aware bit of meta commentary and romance. It's as funny as it is catchy. All right, moving on from there, really liking this track from The Drums. The deluxe edition to the latest Drums LP is out, and the song I Still Don't Know How to Feel Love is one of many tracks added to the track list, and it's probably the strongest of the extras on the record, but check it out. Check it out. If you're into some washed out indie jangly pop with some slick and youthful lead vocals. The track URRRGE featuring A$AP Rocky is one of many bops and bangers that have been added to the latest Doja Cat album in its new deluxe version. This track is handling one of the hardest I think she has ever put out. Do not miss this because that's out now. Also, shout out to Charli XCX, who just dropped 2 new singles for the forthcoming album Brat, both of which are throwback, sweaty, crazy early 2000s blog house era house shit, club classics and B2B. The titles of these 2 tracks, both of which rule. I think I'm a bit more partial to B2B though. And finally, Blockhead. Shout out to Blockhead, producer extraordinaire, who has a instrumental album on the way. Serious About My Fitness is the name of the latest track and single from it. And this one has a lot of cool ringing metallic tones throughout. It's almost Christmassy, has some great grooves, fantastic balance between all the respective pieces of instrumentation on it. And that is going to be it for the weekly track roundup. Hopefully you guys got some great recommendations out of the video. I will see you in the next one. Anthony Fantano, weekly tracks of forever.